Welcome back to another Nano Reef Freak video today. Before we get started, I just want to introduce our new inhabitant of the Nuvo Fusion Lagoon 25 gallon. This is a royal damsel. His name is Danny Phantom, and he is doing swimmingly well in this aquarium. Here we can see that he's eating, he's taking a liking to the live rock structure we have in here, and so far this tank is doing awesome. Today I'm taking you all through TopShelf Aquatics. This store used to be my local fish store over 5 years ago. I remember COVID hadn't happened yet and aquarium prices were a lot better back then. This store is still awesome to this day. Let's take a look at some of the beautiful corals they had there. Here you can see they've got some amazing LPS corals. We've got some Sinarina coral right in the front and some Trachyphyllia coral. They've also got some beautiful acans coral here. It says check online for pricing because they do sell these corals online at TopShelfAquatics.com. You can get them shipped directly to your door. You'll have to forgive the footage quality here. We're actually using my iPhone because I didn't want to bring my big camera into the store without asking them first. I haven't been back here in a long time, but they've got some beautiful showpiece tanks here. They've got some beautiful big eye fish with a Achilles tang in there. They also had these tiny little tanks for anything from shrimps to snails to corals to frogfish. I mean, these things had everything here. One of my favorites that I forgot to get while we were looking at these little stock tanks was the tiger Necarius snails. They also had an awesome little setup from Hello Reef, a fellow YouTuber. I really loved this tank. It really showed off the AI blade well, and it was a really cool setup for clownfish and anemones. I haven't tried this kit personally, but who knows, maybe someday I'll be able to try this out or get a sponsorship from Hello Reef and tell you guys all about it. TopShelf Aquatics also had these awesome APS stands from Innovative Marine. They're full aluminum, won't rust, and they're extremely sturdy. They also had some really interesting things I've never seen before, such as this algae and this refugium here. They also had a huge selection of torches, hammers, frog spawn. If you like LPS, you name it, they had it. Pretty good prices as well, and you can see that the water flow on these corals just really shows off the movement and the colors that they're getting from these LEDs.
Hey everybody, Nano Reef Freak here. We just stopped in at TopShelf Aquatics, picked up a new stand for our Nuvo Lagoon 25 gallon, which was not on our agenda today. We wanted to get the white APS stand that they had, which is an all aluminum stand. Unfortunately, when we went to go get it, all they had was the black one. Fortunately, the manager there is really nice, really kind, willing to work with us, and we actually got the display unit for half off. So we got a really good discount from TopShelf Aquatics, would highly recommend. This stand is incredible. It's in the back seat right now, and we're gonna go ahead and take it on home.
We also made a quick stop by Worldwide Corals. They had a new store in the area that we wanted to check out. It was a really small store, which is a satellite to their main store. Unfortunately, we didn't find anything that we couldn't live without here, but they had a lot of cool corals as well. They had 3 big stock tanks that ran right down the middle of the store, full of acantastria and big LPS corals. They did also have some really cool displays. One of the displays that I really liked was this Aesop's tank here that I haven't seen before, and they had some really massive displays in the back full of large tangs and giant colonies of corals and acroporas and torches and everything that you could wish for in a reef tank. One coral that caught my eye was this red brain coral in the back next to this acantastria. This is a beautiful nano tank here. I'm not sure exactly which tank this is. It looks like maybe a Red Sea Nano or something like that, but it also had a radion and a top lid lid. Here we'll go through a couple more of the display tanks they had, and the only reason I have more footage of these display tanks is because I wasn't actually interested in purchasing anything here. At TopShelf, I was focusing on a lot of purchasing decisions, so I wasn't filming a ton of their tanks here. But Worldwide Corals did have a really interesting display with just a casual normal 10 gallon sitting on the counter, which I thought was really interesting. They also had an Aesop's 4.8 gallon, which I found really interesting because I have an Aesop's Deskmate 4.8 gallon at home and I love mine. It was interesting to see theirs. They actually had the larger frag rack in it, which was really cool to see that fit. Now let's get into the real stuff. Let's go ahead and set up this all-white APS stand in my house. First, we gotta drain this monster. This 25 gallon tank at 8 pounds per gallon of water weighs at least 200 pounds. So moving this without draining the water was absolutely not going to happen. Alright, first things first, I need to mark on the floor exactly where the old stand was, so when I put the new stand in, it matches perfectly. Now for the first obstacle, moving the stand is actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I initially thought that moving the stand was going to be a lot easier with no water in it. Even with the water taken out, this thing was immovable. It was ridiculous. I'm even trying to use the opening here as a handle and I could barely move this thing by myself. I did start to make some progress by rocking the stand back and forth, But desperate times call for desperate measures. So here's my favorite thing about the new aquarium stand. It's super light. 1 year ago I broke the elbow joint in my left arm, and lifting things just isn't quite the same. This stand though probably weighs 25 pounds. It's really not that bad. Being all aluminum, it's lighter than wood, 10 times stronger probably, and it looks 10 times better. So a really important thing to do when you get a new stand, or any stand, is to level it. You gotta make sure it's level front to back and left to right, so here I am checking all those dimensions. Just to talk about this stand a little bit real quick, this is the previous generation of the APS Innovative Marine stand, so it does not have the feet on the bottom, which means that in order to level the stand, I have to use shims at the bottom. Not the end of the world, but the new APS stand does come with feet on the bottom of the stand that you can adjust and then level the stand accordingly using those feet rather than having to use a whole bunch of shims. Now though, we have to move the aquarium onto the new stand, which is challenge number 2. This thing is a monster. It doesn't slide, it's super grippy, it's like suctioned onto the old stand. There were so many problems here, I was just like, how am I gonna do this? Ultimately, I just had to suck it up and lift the stand with as much effort as I could, get it onto the new stand without dropping it, and the new stand was just a hair lower, probably about a centimeter lower, so actually dropping it was a little bit of a concern there, because I didn't want to drop it and chip the glass or anything like that, but we did get it moved successfully. We were able to get the tank full of water, hook up all the equipment, and get the lights turned back on, and then finally the tank was ready to go. Overall, I'm in love with this stand, and I think it's a key element to making the ultimate Nano Reef tank. We've got a couple more upgrades planned for this tank, so please comment, like, and subscribe on this video, guys, if you want to see more content just like this. I'm so excited to be making YouTube videos again, so I really appreciate every single person's subscription. And if you do like getting notified about these videos, there is a bell icon there which you can enable, and it'll notify you every single time I post, which is about 3 times a week. Thanks so much, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their day.